Of course it was a man. Today around 1 p.m. a pedestrian, was hit by a car. I am fine. No injuries. But so shaken up. I live in a smaller city, but it's a city, not a town, and during my lunch break I walked across the park to a coffee shop. I get coffee. Wait to cross the street to get back to the park. Light turns green and I start to cross. A car drives aggressively in front of me, blocking the crosswalk. I give a really dude shrug and walk around the front of the car. I still have green and he has red. As I walk in front, he honks aggressively at me. I freeze and jump back a little. He lurches toward me. I deer in the headlights, freeze, and he actually drives slow motion into me. I regain my senses and get the hell out of his way. He guns it around the corner. Dude hit me with a car. Fled the scene. Except he is parked on the next block. Multiple witnesses. Camera. Got the license plate. Talked to the cops. His car, now almost 12 hours later, is still there. He was in such a hurry he physically intimidated and assaulted a pedestrian to park 1 block away. Also blocking a pedestrian crossing. The Gold Star witness pulled my shocked self to the sidewalk. Asked if I was okay. Told me she saw everything and would wait with me for the police and that the dude is a menace. Then she said what was in the title. I couldn't believe someone would act that way. Then the car turned the corner and I saw the driver. Of course it was a man. How could someone be that callous? I was just a person in a crosswalk with a green light, and my shrug was enough that he drove his car into me. I still can't tell if I'm angry, scared, indignant, or what else. All I know is that none of us deserve to live in a world where a man is embarrassed because he made a small driving error, so he hits the person who points it out with a car. Quick edit. Thanks for all the support. I am 100% physically fine, so please don't worry. I talked to the police, who were great, and the officer said that he will likely be charged with something, but he has to figure out what, because yes, it was intentional, but there was no bodily harm. It's a common misconception that a victim can press charges. All I can do is report and be cooperative. The court prosecutor decides if how he is charged. I also can't sue because I have no damages, thank goodness. Honestly, my ideal outcome is some combination of license suspension, community service, court ordered anger management. I took the day off work and I'm going for a long trail bike ride far away from jerks in cars. Take care of yourselves and each other, and don't let the jerks win. You are probably in adrenaline shock. Still, please see a doctor tomorrow. You may find that you don't feel quite so well. It's helpful to have records. I am so sorry he did this to you. How utterly despicable. The witness who sat with you did a good thing. I'm so glad there was a witness and she helped you. I'm sure you are scared, indignant, and a multitude of other things. I hope the police do something about him too. We have had about 50-50 when it comes to bad drivers as pedestrians. But the worst was a man who turned left across the crosswalk in front of us when we had our son in a stroller, and if we had been slightly further forward, goodbye son. He was in a giant lifted pickup and didn't care that he could have killed a child. This was like 3 years back now. Please be around friends and family. And talk to people to fully process what happened. Try to take a warm shower if you can. And get some hugs. You poor thing. Where I live now, cars constantly blow red lights, stop signs, and slam their brakes into the crosswalks. I don't have a car, which apparently is rare here. I get dirty looks for trying to cross when I have the right of way, and if I didn't jump or hesitate a few times, I would have been a pancake. Fuckers like that never stop either. Please stay safe and stay alert. Fuck that guy. Make sure his insurance premium goes sky high if he even keeps his license. What a stupid thing to do. Also, criminal charges for assault with a deadly weapon. He deserves to go to jail. Fuck all of these hot-headed assholes. They need to be separated from society. Enough is enough. I was also hit by a car, and it was an asshole man driving. I was standing right near my driveway, waiting for my husband to close the garage door so we could go on a bike ride. My neighbor came off the busy street and wasn't paying attention and ran right into me. Luckily, I didn't break any bones and was already wearing a helmet, so no major damage. But to this day, he never once came over to see if I was okay or apologize. And we're still neighbors. As an experienced pedestrian who's never been hit, thank God. Usually when a woman driver does something dangerous, it's because she's distracted, not paying attention, etc. But I've noticed a lot of men make dangerous moves out of aggression. A way of pumping their chests up, but with a 2-ton death machine. It's horrifying because, sort of like your situation op. You reason with yourself that they're not actually going to hit you, but fuck. Sometimes they actually do. It's good that you feel functionally fine right now, but please, seek legal help and get the personal injury maximum that you can get. I'm not advocating lying or faking injury, but you need to preemptively cover future complications. Not all trauma is apparent immediately after the accident. My father's internal damage came to light almost 15 years after his broadside collision. By that time, he couldn't seek damages for physical injury, and he thought he was fine because he walked away from the accident. I don't know why it's so normal to raise a boy to have zero impulse control. Then they grow up to punch holes in drywall and road rage, then a couple months later kill someone in a violent rage. All because their parents didn't know how to tell them no. Very sorry he did this to you. I hope he has to face consequences. This is an everyday thing where I live. We have one of the highest pedestrian deaths in the nation. I witnessed 2 people killed, and 2 people I knew were killed this way. Our police and city council are part of the problem. They don't even ticket the drivers. They actually blame the victims. Even though pedestrians have the right of way at every intersection here. Until there is a class action lawsuit against the city and police department, which the city manages, nothing will change here. A man did this to me in college. He didn't actually hit me, but I was in the middle of the crosswalk and he kept inching up. I saw his face change and his eyes narrow, and suddenly the car lurched forward and I had to jump out of the way. A woman was in the car with him and I saw her smack him in the arm and shout at him. I wonder if that woman saved me from actually being hit. Some people are insane. I hope you're okay, and I hope that asshole gets some kind of consequence. Why are so many full-blown psychopaths roaming the earth? Also typed US. But didn't want to assume. Was in the US. Though. Right? I also can't sue because I have no damages, thank goodness. Have you spoken to a lawyer about this? You were threatened with a deadly weapon and in fact hit with it. You suffered emotional distress. And you had to take time out of your workday to deal with the results. You might need to get checked out by a doctor, which would mean hospital bills. There are also punitive damages to consider going after. After dealing with your health truly, you should consider seeing a doctor. Talk to a reputable lawyer who will give you a free initial consultation.